Welcome back to Manosphere Daily. Today, we're diving into a topic that's got modern women in their feelings. They're sick of being lonely, but they don't know why it's happening. They spent years saying they didn't need men, but now reality is setting in, and the complaints are getting louder. Before we break it all down, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And don't forget, share this video with your friends so we can keep the conversation going.
I hear this all the time, like, oh, narcissists seem to get away with it and everything is fine and they just go upward, upward. Who are you talking about? All the narcissists I know, they go down, down. Miserable people, they fail. It hurts the people in the environment, sure, but it hurts them. And I don't see them doing well. I see them suffering. I see, when I've seen NPDs in my life, they're self-destructive. I mean, it's a very comorbid personality disorder. It's usually borderline personality disorder, psychopathy there. They're kind of losers. Eventually they overplay their hand. Eventually they do what they said they would never do. Eventually the lies are exposed and they hit a wall. It's like the Johnny Cash song, you can run on for a long time, but sooner or later, God's gonna cut you down. You can get your little time in the sun. Okay, good for you. You got 10 years, you got 20 years, you got 30 years, but not forever, not forever. I don't know somebody in my life with narcissism who went up, up, up. They all went down eventually.
On the other hand, I feel like being single makes me feel a little empty sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, like I mentioned, after a full day of work, I have so many thoughts in my mind and I would really like to share my feelings with someone. Then you find that you have no one to go to.
That was the biggest thing when I broke up with my ex was, obviously, you can talk to your friends,
Correct.
You can talk to your family, but I maintain that it's not the same having a partner that you can just pour out everything to.
Unfiltered thoughts.
Yeah. So I did feel quite lonely, in those first few weeks where, firstly, I came home to no one. I had no one to text. And yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment for sure. But after that, I kind of just fell into it and I did enjoy being single.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house. Only 2 of them are mine. But it's another Christmas that is about to come and go where my relationship status is the same. And it's crazy because if you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be single at 38, I would have been like, absolutely not. And if I am, then just me now, Here's one of my kitties. Look at this little baby girl. This is Willow. Say hi, Willow. And
So modern women are sick of being lonely.
Is dating today, in your opinion, harder than it's ever been?
I was friends with my boyfriend before we started dating, and I feel like that's a more natural transition than seeing features on your screen and trying to make a decision based on a list of things.
People just try and avoid things because I think they're scared to say things straight up.
One red flag and you're kind of like, oh, I could go find somewhere else. You don't need to have one person when you could have 5.
Honestly, I don't know. I've had really bad luck. So everything. I've been treated like shit.
I think a big part of it is because of social media.
People see a lot, they exposed to a lot. They're always looking for better, 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 better.
Everyone is always looking for the best thing and they always think something else is around the corner and you almost have too much access to too many people.
I'm going to share with you what the narcissist's biggest weakness is, and it may be surprising to you. Did you know a narcissist is never ever truly happy? Ever. It may look like it. Maybe you've just come out of a relationship with a narcissist, they're hooked up with somebody else and it looks like everything is perfect. Let me tell you, a narcissist is never truly happy because they need somebody else to constantly make them feel a certain way, and no human being is ever capable of that. That's why at some stage they will heighten their abuse with whoever they are with because they are not giving them the narcissistic supply, which is a narcissist drug of choice, what they need. So I know it may look like they are really, really happy now, maybe in a new relationship, or maybe if it was a narcissistic parent, they're piling on lots of attention to someone else in your family. Let me tell you, they are amongst the most deeply wounded, most unhappy people in this world.
So, I'm supposed to get my kids tomorrow night. or 2 more a day. And their father just called me and asked if they could go to the beach because they were supposed to go when he picked them up. Whatever, long story. You know, of course, the demon, evil part of me wants to be like, no, they're my kids, it's my time. But the good side of me has to do what's in the best interest of the kids, and they really want to go to the beach, and I gotta let go. And I did, and it just hurts so bad because, you know, as much as I'm strong and I have fun on lives and TikTok, I look forward to those little boogers.
That's interesting, because for years, they told men they were strong, independent, and didn't need anyone.
Why are men terrified of women? There's a few components to that. First of all, that is a very attractive reproductive opportunity for a man. Oh boy, I don't want to get into trouble. This is often why really not as attractive women get hit on more often than really beautiful women, because real beauty is intimidating. And a lot of guys would prefer to be with the really attractive woman, but approaching her and the prospect of being rejected is too risky. Whereas the woman that they are only kind of take her or leave her, that one's not going to hurt as much if she says no, and so they're more likely to be approached. The reason why is because there's a deep existential dread to female sexual rejection that lives in men, because we know that sex isn't just about pleasure, it's connected to life and genetic legacy. So on some level, when a woman rejects a man, she's basically saying, I don't think that you should reproduce.
When you get enough lonely single men in their young ages of like 20 to 30, right, with no family, no kids, nothing to die for, to stand for, you're going to have public tragedies keep happening. Soon they'll start targeting higher ups in government because, you know, once the greed sets in from those at the top and they take more and more and more and you're left with nothing, then you'll really see the, quote, revolt everybody talks about.
This video isn't going to have a punchline. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Because I am basically just making it to stop crying, because usually when I start trying to make video, I stop crying. And I've been crying all day because I got sat on a plane next to a couple, and the whole time the guy had his hand on like his girlfriend's leg, you know, and it was just kind of like that the whole time. And I can't, like, I've been single my whole life. I'm 25, and I've never gotten to experience that. I've never gotten like close to that. And it's just too much. Like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. There are some people out there who they're not interested in a relationship and they want to be by themselves. But like, that's not me, and that's never been me. I have always wanted to be in a relationship, even though I've never been in one. And even though I'm comfortable by myself and I can do things alone, but like at a certain point, it gets like really sad doing things alone. Like, I've traveled alone to so many places because like if I don't go by myself, I'm not gonna go. If I don't do things by myself, it's not gonna happen. But at the same time, like, it's so much fun to be able to like share that with someone else. And like, everyone I know is in a relationship right now, and like the majority of them have been in relationships for like a long time. Like, this is established, and I feel like I've always been alone, and I don't want to be, and I don't understand why this is happening to me.
Now, suddenly, it's a problem. They spent all this time rejecting, ghosting, and raising their standards.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now, and I don't want to diminish that. That sounds really tough, but what I don't understand is why some men tell me this as if like I'm supposed to do something about it. Like, don't look at me. The most I can personally do is recommend you guys listen to Mitski, like the rest of us. Other than that, I feel like this is between you dudes, you know? And not to point fingers, but maybe if you spent less time telling women there's a male loneliness epidemic in an accusatory tone, and more time asking your boys how their heart is doing, this could all be over.
The problem, though, is that it's only to men that we would say, fix it yourself. It's only to men that we would say, it's your fault. It's only to men that we would say, sounds like men need to do better.
I've determined the worst part of being single. It's not feeling lonely, it's not missing the person. It's wanting intimacy. I just want to be held. And not by some random Chad from the bar. Like, you know the feeling of being held by someone that you love and trust?
Let's be very clear. She's still looking for Chad. She just don't like the results she been getting from bar Chad. She just want to bump into a Chad at the grocery store like a romantic comedy. It's not gonna happen. And even if you meet him there, you're still gonna get the same results.
Nice try.
Is it because you're mid? Actually, no, it's not. It's because Chad has unlimited options. And a man with unlimited options really has no incentive to settle down with one woman. Then he gotta meet her parents, and then the parents might not like him. He gotta protect and provide for you day in and day out, listen to your problems, have you nag him about stuff constantly try to keep tabs on them. It doesn't sound like a good deal, does it?
Oh, look, she put her kid's initials in her bio, even though she doesn't have custody. Girls' night out. Mama needs a break. A break from what? She posted a selfie. Hashtag mom life. Bitch, where? Oh, wow. Look, she actually took a picture with her kid. Must be at grandma's house. In a new relationship. Third one this month. Shocker. I mean, hey, at least you don't gotta worry about men being in and out the kid's life, because, you know, she ain't even in the kid's life, so. Here come the quotes. Why is it always Harley Quinn and Joker quotes? Real love is when you see the dark parts of someone and choose to still love them. Girl, go love your kid. Went to the store and saw this tiny baby onesie. OMG, baby fever. Yeah, because that's what we need. Another kid for your mama to raise. Oh, they broke up. Forever alone. Well, you know, you wouldn't be alone if you went and got your kid. So, why doesn't anyone love me? Oh, I don't know. Why don't you love your kid?
And now they're confused about why no one is around. They said marriage was outdated, traditional roles were oppressive, and men weren't good enough.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
I have a lovely
No.
Who in this fucking table is a single mom? Me. You? And I said I would
And
be
this
a
is the
single
only
mom
girl.
millionaire.
This is the only girl that chooses because she fucking knows what it is to be a fucking singer.
All right, so
I ain't gonna lie, Chris. I ain't
please
gonna
don't make a guess. Here's the thing.
No one's saying that no one's gonna want you. We're just saying
I'm not even laugh.
it's unlikely. Plenty of people will want you.
This is wild.
Now they're looking around and realizing that all their single friends are just as miserable as they are.
This makes me so sad and so angry at OnlyFans. OnlyFans is so gross because it literally weaseled its way into these feminist spaces and convinced women that it is somehow empowering for them to sell their body online with false promises they're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's not the reality of it. It's basically a sex work pyramid scheme. In what other business, when the market is so flooded, would you continue to try to recruit young women? And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with sex work, but it is not supposed to be this common, especially not amongst young women. And I hate to say this, but this is the opposite of feminism. This is quite literally the objectification of women. You can have us at a price. What? And I don't know why I feel like I'm so early on this train, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it. Which is, again, why I'm so proud of this girl for posting about it.
We signed our final divorce papers last week, and I just got notified today that the lawyer sent the papers to the court today to be signed by the judge. Everybody keeps thinking that I'm handling this divorce so well, and I'm not. I'm not okay. Next week would have been our 9-year anniversary. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself. I didn't want this. I never wanted this. And it hurts and it sucks and I'm not okay. I know that I'm gonna be okay. But right now it really sucks. And I feel like I can't breathe. So, for those of you who are going through the same thing and have been watching me and telling me that you wish that you had my strength because you're not handling your divorce or your breakup well, just know I'm right there with you. I'm not okay either. But I promise you, someday,
Maybe, just maybe, men weren't the problem after all. The best part? Instead of reflecting, they're blaming men again.
I didn't expect to be this alone in my 30s, and I don't mean alone, but wow, it's hit me like a ton of bricks today, and let me explain why. So I'm 34, I live at home with my mum after a breakup a few months ago. I can't even blame my breakup. I haven't reached any milestones at all really. Buying a house, any children, I don't have a boyfriend, I've never been married, I pretty much don't have any assets. I'm autistic and I have ADHD and have just pretty much struggled my whole life with normal things neurotypical people find so easy. For example, saving. By my weight loss surgery 3 years ago, which cost me £3,000, on a few amazing travelling trips in my 20s. I've never had more than a few £1,000s in my bank account, and trust me, that's not what I have now. I'm in the process of just finding things so fucking overwhelming, so fucking sad. I'm sad that I wasn't invited to my ex-best friend's wedding this weekend. I'm sad that I can't afford to buy a loan. I'm sad that my friends are on their second babies buying £500,000 houses. I'm sad that I was misdiagnosed with a fucking personality disorder. And I'm sad that I find it difficult to tap into who I am because I've never really known. I'm just sad. I might make this into a series, I don't know. Does anyone else feel like this?
Apparently, it's men's fault for not stepping up and fixing the situation. But the truth is simple, men are tired of being treated like disposable options.
I was just looking at that page that's like, are we dating the same guy? And first of all, it's fascinating and it's a crazy resource. But also like 90% of the dudes that get posted in there, I'm just like, this is it? Like some girl will just post like the most foul looking man, the most mediocre dude to ever grace this earth. And they're like, ladies, this one is a walking red flag. And then all the comments will be like, oh yeah, he did me dirty too. And I'm like, that guy? That fucking guy? We're in the freaking trenches down here, like scraping the bottom of the barrel, just. And these women that post these men, I'll go and look at their profiles if they're not anonymous. Just the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
They found peace elsewhere, while the ones who pushed them away are left scrolling through dating apps, wondering why the fun life isn't so fun anymore.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.